Shabbat Shalom. I would like to read today from Jeremiah 23 and show to you how it was fulfilled in my life as a new believer. But as the Lord lives, who brought up and led back the descendants of the household of Israel from the north land and from all the countries where I have driven them. And Еремия 23, строка 8. Lord said, «Но жив Господь, который вывел и который привел племя дома Израилева из земли северной, и из всех земель, куда я изгнал их». I see fulfillment of these verses in my life. As an unbeliever who came to this country in 1989, like 3 years right after, on April 26, 1986, Chernobyl happened. And Lord started to move and work in my life. This was His way how to start moving my family out of the former Soviet Union. Even though I had in the family somebody who became a refusnik, it means, or отказник, people couldn't get out from the country in the 70s, or they applied and they were waiting, they really were selling all their means, and they were sitting on the luggage just to wait for permission, and at the last moment they were not getting permission, and they had to start their life together. And this is what one of my family members went through. But this time, in 1989, the Lord's hand was leading our family, even though I didn't know Him yet back then. I didn't know Him, and I didn't know His leading. We received a permission. It was a miracle. We received a permission in the embassy in Moscow to leave the country. In my exodus, as is the scripture saying, from Egypt started, and I arrived to New York, I still didn't know Him. But the Lord had to put a pressure on my life, so I would cry out to Him and ask the truth to be revealed in my life. And He brought me from that north country. He brought me through the Egypt. But and the greatest testing was still ahead. But in the time when I cried out to Him, He revealed Himself. He revealed Himself through His Son. He gave me understanding of Isaiah 53. He gave me understanding of His redemptive work in my life. And I invited Him in my heart. And then it was another miracle which happened in my life on October 29, 2012. It happened to be that I was home with my mom post neurosurgery, and it's happened to be that floods started to flow through the rivers, and I could see the deliverance of the Lord and fulfillment of Isaiah 43 when He said, "You will go through the water, but they will not overwhelm you. You will go through the fire, but they will not scorch you." The fulfillment of another verse and promise of God in Isaiah 59 and 19, where He said, "When enemy shall come like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up the storm," was fulfilled. When I was led by the Ruach HaKodesh to anoint my doors, my doorposts and my windows with oil and pray this prayer of Isaiah 59:18. The water which was rushing and ended up 5 blocks up and flooded the businesses, flooded the home. It didn't touch the house where we lived with Mom, and she was just came from the hospital. It stopped right at the door and in the window. And we are serving great I Am. We're serving the great God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And He is the one who intercedes for us. And He will bring us through. And I pray right now that you will not harden your heart and accept Him in your heart. He is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. He is the true I Am, and He is a great Son of living God, Emmanuel, God with us.